Bonjour, buenos dias, magandang umaga. Welcome to the inner sanctum of my Chamber of Chakras, and thank you for joining me on another episode of Astro Affirmation for August 1st, 2023. It's the peak of the full super moon in Aquarius today, the sign of the innovative humanitarian who pours out life-giving water to the world, electrifying the dead back to life with the spirit in the sky. That's where I'll go when I die. When I die and they lay me to rest, I'm gonna go to the place that's the best. Yes, we have had a series of deaths in the last few days, but the closest one is the passing away of the man's pops yesterday afternoon, Earl Conley. I don't know if you noticed that at the end of my last show yesterday on Monday, the last day of July, that there were like rustling noises in the background. The man came home early from work unannounced as I was still filming. And he was in a rush, like a whirlwind on a hot, humid day. He spun around looking for a change of clothes so he can go to his dad's house to see what happened, because he was called from work about his dad. So after I ended my show yesterday, he told me that his dad died of a heart attack. I was dumbfounded with disbelief because of how sudden it is, right? I mean, we just saw him here at BBH for the man's 60th birthday party, right? And he looked fine. He was happy and having fun. He was even dancing to the music. Yeah. So yesterday, the whole of the Big Blue household showed up at Earl's house. I went last with my daughter TLC, and when I walked in his house and saw his body laying on the floor, I started crying. I couldn't help it. There were 12 of us in there. The man's brothers, my 4 kids, Earl's soulmate, Diane, her best friend and grandson. And then it's the man and I. So that makes 12. But yeah, Earl looked so peaceful just laying there that I thought he was just sleeping. I was like, is he really dead? I asked Diane, and she said, yeah. He left without saying goodbye to any of us, because only Diane was there when it happened. So Conley is an Irish name, right? So there goes another Irish exit, leaving without saying goodbye. So all 12 of us joined hands as we formed a circle around his body in the living room. In my mind, I'm saying, way to go, Cool Breeze. Cool Breeze is what I called him, because he was always well dressed with a fedora and matching outfit whenever he comes over for a party or a visit. He has his pimp cane and gangsta lean, you know. Yeah, real slick guy, like rico, suave. Remember that song by Gerardo back in the 90s? Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, I was in this prayer circle holding hands with 11 other people in the living room, and I said to myself, way to die in the living room, right? Dying in the living room, That's a lot of chutzpah. Yeah. I'm like, how dare you? And I noticed that Earl's eyes were open, so the man gently closed them with his fingers, and then the prayer began with the new spiritual leader, the man, right, who was named after his dad, Earl. Earl Anthony Conley is the man's name. And after quite a lengthy prayer, he invited anyone to say something. And as I was looking at Earl's face, sleeping, you know, as if he was just sleeping, I was moved to talk directly to his corpse. And I'm looking at him and I said, Earl, you still look good even in death. So handsome. And suddenly his left eye popped open like he was winking at me. I jumped a little bit because I thought he was still in there. A cold chill ran up my spine and my skin crawled with goosebumps. I was like, oh my God, he just opened his one eye. When I said he was handsome, he winked at me. That is the first time I have ever been that close to a recently departed body. Yeah, I felt Earl's spirit nudging me, was like tilting. And I said to him in my spirit, you are such a flirt. Even after death, you still a player. Then I heard him say in my spirit, don't hate the player, hate the game. And I'm like, how about if we just don't hate at all? Love, love, love. Love one another, brothers and sisters. I think the Newsboys had a song like that, Love One Another, 2019. Anyway, on that note, excuse me. Me. Let's sing our theme song for 2023, Science and Spirituality's wedding song, right? As we move forward and upward toward the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. So are you ready? Let's go. We are one in the spirit, we are one in the Lord. We are one in the spirit, we are one in the Lord. And we pray that all unity may one day be restored. Then they'll know we are Christians by our love, by our love. Yes, they'll know we are Christians by our love. We will work with each other, we will work side by side. We will work with each other, we will work side by side. And we'll guard each man's dignity and save each man's pride. And they'll know we are Christians by our love, by our love. Yes, they'll know we are Christians by our love. Thank you for singing and clapping with David's drum. So yeah, let's have a little coffee talk before we start our chakra chat. I got mine here in my red coffee mug. Join me in a cuppa and let's spill some tea. Yeah, so like I said, Earl, the man's pops, passed away like around 2:30 in the afternoon yesterday. And the man rushed over there from work. And so when I got there, I still had on my indigo outfit. You know, remember the one I was wearing yesterday at Astro Affirmation show for Monday, yesterday. So when I went to grieve with the family at Earl's house, I still had on that same outfit, you know, peacock feathers in my hair, bindi on my forehead, right? But yeah, Earl Conley, like an Irish nobleman, dropped dead there on his living room floor. He always used to tease me and ask me the same question whenever he came by to visit. He'll say, "Am I your friend?" And I'd say, "Yes, Earl, you're my friend." May your soul rest in peace, knowing that whenever I call you friend, I begin to think I understand. Anything we are, you and I always been, ever and ever. Yeah, so Esteban, the man's brother who is a cosmetologist, laughed at my getup. And I was like, yeah, I'm still in my Astro Affirmation costume with my bindi and peacock feathers in my hair, like I said. And, you know, on a side note, Earl's first wife, the man's mom, Ida Mae Peacock Conley White. Her maiden name is Peacock. She passed away about the same time, 3 years ago. Yeah, her maiden name was Peacock, and I felt her presence there at Earl's house yesterday. And then Esteban, the cosmetologist's brother, proceeded to tell me that I have to let him cut my hair. Hello, why? ¿Por qué? It's not bothering me. Why? Is it bothering you? He's all, you have to let it go. Let it go. I'm like, shoot. I look like Frozen. Let it go. And I'm all like, I want to let it grow. Let it grow. Let it grow. Yeah. I'm telling you, every time, my hair is always the topic. You know, it's like, leave my antennas alone, okay? So anyway, yeah, I broke down in tears and fell to pieces when Diane, his soulmate, kissed him goodbye for one last time. My gosh, yeah, before the mortuary took Earl's body away. I was so overwhelmed with emotion that I had to go outside where I found my son, Greg, sitting in his car. Greg is a very sensitive guy. Yeah, the sorrow and grief was just too much for him to bear, that he had to separate himself from that energy field and mourn on his own in his car that's parked like on the curb by Earl's house. Yeah, so sad. We all know we're all going to die, right? From the moment we came out of our mother's womb and inhaled our first breath in this world, we began the death process. From that moment we were born. Every day we live, we get closer and closer to death, right? To our expiration date. Except we don't know what that expiration date is, right? So we live our lives as if we live forever. Like we're not gonna die. Like we're gonna be here forever. Everybody's gonna be here forever, you know. Only when we are face to face with death itself, like I was yesterday, like we were, that's the time when we wake up, right? We become conscious. We wake up from the illusion of immortality, and we realize how short and fragile human life really is. I mean, when you look at any gravestone in the cemetery, you see the DOB, date of birth, and the DOD, date of death, separated by this tiny hyphen, right? That hyphen is the length of your life from the perspective of eternity. Yeah? So, if you got something to say to someone, say it. Don't wait for the perfect timing to say, I love you. Yeah. Tell them you love them every time you see them. And mean it with all your heart. Because you never know if that will be the last time you see them, right? It says in the Bible that the Lord's coming will be like a thief in the night. That's somewhere in the gospel. It might also be in Revelations. I don't know. You have to look it up. So will our day of death. It will be sudden, unexpected, right? So be ready and live each day to the fullest as though it were your last. Be present. There is no better time than now to forgive, to reconcile, to love and be loved. Now is eternity. The past and the present, or the future, I should say. The past and the future collide in the present. Yeah. Yes, it collides in the now, right? Like what I just said is past now. What I just said, that was past. And what about to say? That is the future. So past and future is always now, eternally. Yeah, that's how we move forward in the circle of life, and it moves us all through despair and hope, through faith and love, till we find our place in the path unwinding, in the circle of life. Disney's Lion King for the Leo season, y'all. You know, I created my own symbol for the Leo season. Check it out. Yeah, because none of the images that I saw on the internet resonated with my heart. So I made my own symbol. You see? I started out drawing the glyph for Leo, which is a circle, a hump, and then it curves around and turns up at the end. This is supposed to represent the mane of the lion and the tail of the lion, right? And this circle here, I put a dot in the middle, in the center, because the sun rules the astrological sign of Leo, right? And the sun is also a representation of our ego, okay? So that is right there at the head of the lion, which I drew in the background of this glyph, right? And then also, I see like a half of a heart here. So I just drew the other half to make a heart because, right, lion-hearted, right? Leo also represents the heart. And I believe that this symbol here, this glyph, I should say, is the balancing of ego and emotions, right? Heart-brain coherence, right? The meeting of the minds of these two features of our psyche, right? Emotions and ego, balance them. Yeah, so that's my symbol. And I'm really proud of myself for this. Yes, and then also I did find a symbol for the Ouroboros that I like online, and I've showed you this before, but I want to show it to you again because I want to illustrate cycles, okay? An Ouroboros symbol is a snake eating its own tail, okay? But I like this one in the shape of an 8 instead of just a circle, okay? Because it explains, for example, the lunar cycle, okay? Right here is the start of the lunar cycle. At the head, right, is the new moon. That's the beginning of the lunar cycle. And then it gets bigger and bigger, or it looks bigger and bigger. Actually, it's always the same size, but it looks bigger and bigger because of the illumination from the sun, right? Well, you guys can look up how the new moon happens and towards the full moon. But anyway, the new moon starts the cycle, and then it looks bigger and bigger until it becomes a full moon, right? So here, right at the intersection of the head and the tail, or the beginning and the end, which are at the same point, is the full moon, okay? Then the moon starts looking smaller and smaller. It reduces in sight as far as our perception. And then it becomes like gone, like we can't see it anymore. It's in the shadow. And that's the new moon. Again, it starts a new cycle. And around it goes, right? So yeah, we're here at the same point as the beginning and the end of the cycle, but it's in the middle actually, right? It's in the crossroads, at the crossroads, kind of like where Earl is right now. He's at the crossroads, I think, because he just recently passed. So I believe, just from being raised a Catholic, that the spirit remains for 40 days after it leaves the body. So that's what I believe. But anyway, we are having a full moon in Aquarius, okay? And then after tomorrow, then you'll start seeing the moon looking smaller and smaller. Waning is what it's called, until the new moon, when we won't see the moon in the sky, even though it's there. Then the moon will start to appear again as it looks bigger and bigger. That's called waxing, until the next full moon, and it goes on towards infinity. No one ever gets there, but you could try. Yeah, that's from the song My Hero Zero. It's a schoolhouse rock music composed by, I can't remember, but you can look that up too. So yeah, see, the Ouroboros symbol I picked is the infinity symbol. But not only is it an infinity symbol, it's also my life number, number 8. Turn it on its side and it's a symbol meaning infinity. Right? Yeah, so today, do a self-review. See if there is something in your life that needs to change for you to transform into the new and improved you, your true authentic self. Okay, you have to find that first. You know who you are before you can know your mission. The reason why you incarnated in this body, on this plane, this earthly plane. Because we forgot when we were born, we were babies. We forgot. So that's the first step, is know who you are, and then you will know your mission alongside of that knowledge. But let go of the things that you have become accustomed to, things that make you comfortable and content, but are no longer serving your highest good, right? Some things may even be harming you now, and you're even unaware of it, instead of helping you. So find a new sense of stability with strong emotional freedom. Today, especially with the moon in Aquarius, let go of all your fears, your anger, jealousy, and all those dense energies that keep your thoughts dark and your feelings heavy. Yeah, let go, release it, release them. Always look on the brighter side of things. Look on the bright side, think positive, and vibrate to a higher level of frequency. Okay, so you can feel good, so you can feel alive, and have an attitude of gratitude every day and every way. Okay, so the ruling energy today is the root chakra, the Muladhara in Sanskrit. Okay, and as you can see, red is the color of the day, as I'm wearing my red crocheted summer top. I showed you this before. And I thought I'd wear these gemstones. This one is the one I crocheted this necklace. And then this is like a gem holder. That's an iolite in there. And then this finger of Venus, lioness claw, black onyx pendant necklace that my brother Ray gave me. Yes. Got the mandala for the root chakra there behind me. Got my red eye makeup, red press-on nails. Okay, so surround yourself with the color red, the color of sacrifice, love, the red badge of courage. For me, as the Taurus, the bull that I am, red means go. It means action. It means fire. Yeah, wave that muleta at me and say toro. I just can't help myself. I charge. Red is the color of the planet Mars, the ruler of Aries, the astrological sign Aries, the male sheep with the curled horns, built tough, right? And Aries, A-R-E-S, is the god of war in Greek mythology. Today is Tuesday, which is a day that's ruled by Mars. Yeah, it's the day of action. It's a perfect day to get shit done. Yeah. So the root chakra is the first spinning sphere of energy in our spine, in our quorant, the core of our being, right? It is our foundation, the base of our being. It's the closest to the origin, to our origin, Earth, okay? Remember, we were made of dust, and to dust we shall return, right? That's what the priests say when they put the ashes on the forehead of Catholics on Ash Wednesday. You from dust, and to dust you will return. Yeah, so the root chakra is the birthplace of our consciousness in the tree of life. Our roots that anchor us firmly to the ground, right? To support us. Our DNA, our genetic material, our ancestry, our heredity, all of the basic data that creates this avatar that we call body. Yeah? Yeah, it's our roots. Are you following me? Okay, so if you're feeling lethargic, anxious, having panic attacks, or having digestive problems, your root chakra may be blocked. You know, of course, check with your doctor first, but also do some opening and activating and balancing, right? Open, activate, and balance your root chakra because it may be blocked. And you can do that by chanting its mantra. Lam. The hand position is the thumb and the four fingers touching like this, and the rest out like that, with both hands on the side. Okay. Yeah, it's like this illustration here. See the outline of the human body? See how she's holding her hands? When you're in a lotus position, you can rest your wrist on your knee and hold your fingers like that. That's the hand position for the root chakra. Because that's the beginning of opening. You got to open from the bottom up. Okay? So the energy flow is both from the earth and the sky simultaneously. And it meets right here at the heart chakra, the center of love and compassion. And then that earth energy goes up, the sky energy goes down, and it goes around our body like that. Okay, not just two-dimensionally, but multi-dimensionally, like a torus. It makes a toroidal shape around our body, like our aura. You get? I hope. Anyway, you can chant each mantra for all 7 chakras. I think I would recommend that you do that, and then do a separate one for your root chakra if it needs balancing and opening and aligning. But, you know, chant each of the mantra for all 7 chakras. Lam, vam, ram, yam, hum, sham, aum. Align them and synchronize them with each of their spins. You know, they all have to be in the same frequency with the universe. Okay? Eat red vine. The man loves him some red vines. Look, he buys them in bulk like this. Ooh, it smells so good. I don't blame him for loving these. Wow. He'll have like 8 of them in one sitting. Yeah, they're good. Drink red drinks. Eat red meat. Eat red vegetables like beets. Eat red fruits like red apples, red grapes, watermelon, right? Go outside and be in nature. Walk barefoot on the grass. Okay? Ground yourself to Mama Gaia. Get your root chakra as close to the bare earth as possible. Okay, that's why I recommend to go in a lotus position, but some people can't put their bodies like this. But get to this position as close as you can get, so that your root chakra can be like right there on top of earth, because that's like our plug for our circuit, right? This is our electromagnetic circuit. You need to plug that into Mama Gaia. So the closer that root chakra is to the earth, the better, I think. Yeah, meditate and pray. Here are some Bible passages to reflect on today. The first one is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 50 to 57. We will not all die, but we will all be transformed. Yes, it will happen in a moment, in the blink of an eye, when the last trumpet is blown. For when the trumpet sounds, those who have died will be raised to live forever. Yes, amen. The second one is from Revelation chapter 21, verse 4. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. That's all I have for you today. And once again, I honor God in you and me. Namaste.